Hi, this is attorney Samah Abukhodeir from the Florida Probate and Family Law Firm, where we help families going through the toughest times of their life, death and divorce. And today I want to talk to you about 5 important things to do once somebody close to you passes away. So what's the first thing you should do? Well, in my opinion, it's to look for estate planning documents. And what does that mean? Because most people don't even know what estate planning is. Well, I tell most of my clients you need to look for what's called a last will and testament, a revocable trust, a power of attorney, a healthcare surrogate, and a living will, because these are the core documents when preparing your estate planning with an attorney. And what this means is the person who has passed away has most likely already designated who they want to receive their assets. And they designate these things in these documents, specifically the last will and testament and a revocable trust or an irrevocable trust. So it's extremely important that you start locating these documents and figuring out who is going to be the personal representative, which means the person that's going to be in charge of the estate if you have to go to court, or the trustee, which is the person in a trust if you don't have to go to court most times, so that they're able to explain to you who gets what assets and when they're able to receive them. Number 2, you're going to inventory the estate. Well, what does this mean? Most people ask me, Sam, what does inventory mean and what does estate mean? Well, let's start with the estate. The estate is all of the assets, or in simple terms, items that the person who passed away, AKA the decedent, left behind. Think about a house, think about cash, think about jewelry. All of those items are part of the estate of the decedent. So you want to inventory, which means make a list of all of the items that you think the decedent left behind, or the person who passed away left behind. And then that will make the process much easier moving forward, because then you can determine, once you speak to an attorney, whether you have to go through the court process, which is called probate, or if you're able to distribute it without the court process. Number 3, you're going to check the mail. Sounds simple, right? We all check the mail. But what I'm saying here is that you need to check the decedent or the person who passed away's mailbox to make sure that you're keeping record of all important documents. What do I mean by important documents? Well, that means bank statements, that means tax bills, that means retirement statements, that means utility bills, anything and everything that you think would be important and worth discussing with a probate attorney, because the probate attorney is going to walk you through whether a probate, the court process, is going to be necessary or not. And by bringing all of these documents, it makes it much easier to discuss. Number 4, and it's going to sound really simple, but you want to order at least 5 original death certificates. Well, my potential new clients and my current clients ask me, Sam, why do I need that many death certificates? I have 1 or 2. Isn't that going to be sufficient? And the answer I usually give them is, it's probably not going to be sufficient, because different institutions request these death certificates. And examples of these institutions include banks, DMVs, and attorneys. The reason institutions or companies need the death certificates is to be able to determine whether they need to freeze, hold, or close down different accounts. So think of a mortgage. The mortgage doesn't die when the person dies. They want to see the death certificate and they want to place the account on hold until they're able to determine what happens next. And finally, number 5, you're going to want to meet with a probate attorney. You've heard me say this before, and I'm going to continue saying it, but it's extremely important to interview different attorneys so that you're able to feel comfortable with the person you choose and they're able to understand your situation. Bonus tip, if you have any of the items that we've discussed in 1 through 4, such as their estate planning documents, will, trust, those documents that we've previously discussed, death certificate, financial documents, anything like that, it would make the meeting much more fruitful if you bring it with you, because an experienced probate attorney will be able to review that during the consultation and let you know what the next steps are. So we've discussed 5 important things to do once a loved one passes away. And we understand death is never an easy process. It's emotional, it's draining, it's time consuming, but that's why we're here to help. Click on the link, which will take you to the resource page, and you'll enter your name and your email to receive a checklist of 20 things to do once a loved one passes away. or call our office today for a free consultation.